Welcome back to the channel, Cowboys Nation, and today's report is nothing short of explosive. We've got a major update coming straight from two of the NFL's most trusted insiders, Adam Schefter and Tom Pelissero, about the Dallas Cowboys' ongoing contract negotiations with superstar linebacker Micah Parsons. The future of the team's defensive cornerstone is now in the spotlight, and the news emerging could reshape not only the Cowboys' defense but the entire trajectory of the franchise over the next decade. If you thought the Cowboys were just cruising into the 2025 season with a business-as-usual mindset, think again. This latest development has shaken the very foundation of the Cowboys' front office, locker room morale, and even fan expectations. The stakes are sky high, and with training camp just around the corner, the urgency is unmistakable. So here's what's going down. Adam Schefter broke the silence first by stating on ESPN that the Cowboys have internally escalated their efforts to secure Micah Parsons on a mega extension that would not only make him the highest paid defender in team history but potentially the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. Schefter mentioned that sources close to the situation believe the team is preparing an offer north of $150 million over 5 years. And the language in the deal could include significant guarantees well over $90 million. And then came Tom Pelissero, who added even more context, confirming that the Cowboys have had preliminary talks with Parsons' representation, and while no deal is imminent, both sides are cautiously optimistic that something could materialize before the regular season kicks off. That is massive. Think about what this means. The Cowboys are shifting from being hesitant and slow-moving to going all in to keep their most dynamic player locked down for years to come. Now, Micah Parsons has been nothing short of a generational talent since being drafted in 2021. In just his first 3 seasons, he's not only earned multiple Pro Bowl and All-Pro nods, but he's also become the face of the Cowboys defense, a player offensive coordinators fear, and someone who literally changes game plans. When you have a player who can rush the passer with elite technique, drop back into coverage like a safety, and sideline to sideline chase down ball carriers, you're not just looking at a good player, you're looking at a transformational force. And that's precisely what Parsons is. So from the Cowboys' standpoint, not getting this deal done would be catastrophic. But from Parsons' standpoint, he's got all the leverage. Every snap he takes is another example of why he deserves to be paid like Aaron Donald and T.J. Watt, if not more. The Cowboys front office, led by Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, has been criticized in the past for waiting too long on extensions. We saw this saga play out with Dak Prescott, where the team hesitated, the price went up, and they eventually paid even more. That appears to be the lesson they finally learned. With Parsons, the team doesn't want to wait until he's entering a contract year, especially not after seeing how the market is evolving. Just look at recent deals around the league. Nick Bosa signed a $170 million deal with $122.5 million guaranteed. T.J. Watt got $112 million. Aaron Donald reset the market with his own $135 million deal. And while Donald is more interior and Bosa plays on the edge, Parsons can do it all, and he's younger. It's no wonder the Cowboys feel the pressure to strike now, before someone else completely redefines the defensive pay scale again. But let's not overlook how strategic this timing is. The Cowboys have several key players either approaching free agency or already seeking extensions. CeeDee Lamb is waiting. Dak Prescott's long-term future is still in limbo. So to make Micah Parsons the priority right now is a clear statement from Dallas. They know they can't afford to lose the most explosive weapon on their roster, and they're willing to shift their entire financial blueprint to make it happen. Internally, sources say there was a recent meeting between team ownership, salary cap strategists, and defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer, where it was agreed that Parsons is the kind of player you build a new era around. Those exact words, build a new era around. That tells you everything about how the organization views him. But how close are they to actually getting a deal done? According to Pelissero, The discussions have been positive but complex. Parsons wants long-term security, sure, but he also wants flexibility and full guarantees in the first 3 years, which is something the Cowboys traditionally hesitate on. Remember, Dallas rarely guarantees money beyond the second year of a deal. That could be a sticking point here. But what's interesting is that both Schefter and Pelissero independently confirmed that Parsons is not planning to hold out of training camp if a deal isn't finalized. That shows you 2 things. 1, he's committed to the team, and 2, he's confident enough that the deal will eventually get done. You don't take that kind of risk unless you believe the bag is coming soon. So we're in a rare window where both sides want it, the fans are screaming for it, and the money is there. It's just about the structure now. And let's talk fan reactions for a second, because this isn't just a front office decision, it's a culture-defining moment. Cowboys fans have seen the heartbreak of letting elite talent slip away or go unappreciated. Think of the DeMarcus Ware years, the Dez Bryant contract drama, the Ezekiel Elliott decline post-extension. This time, fans are overwhelmingly united. Micah Parsons is worth every penny. Social media exploded within minutes of Schefter's update. Pay that man now was trending on Cowboys Twitter. Even players from other teams chimed in, with Derwin James tweeting a simple "he deserve it." That's the kind of respect Parsons commands league-wide. He's not just elite, he's feared and admired. And that's why, even though negotiations are complicated, the pressure is firmly on Jerry Jones to not mess this up. Now let's not ignore the ripple effect this deal could cause. If Parsons gets signed first, what happens to CeeDee Lamb? If Parsons takes up a massive chunk of the cap, do the Cowboys have to let go of other veteran contracts? Could this spell the end for players like DeMarcus Lawrence or Michael Gallup? That's a very real possibility. The Cowboys may end up having to make some difficult decisions in order to create the room Parsons' deal demands. But it's a trade-off most fans would accept. You can always find receivers. You can always draft new edge rushers. But a generational player like Parsons? He comes around once every 2 decades if you're lucky. He's that good. That's why locking him down now, even if it comes with painful cuts later, might actually preserve the team's identity longer term. And here's the real kicker: this deal, if it gets done soon, might actually motivate the locker room. Parsons getting paid sends a message that the Cowboys reward greatness. It tells the younger guys, ball out and you'll be taken care of. It reinforces a winning culture. And for a team trying to end a near 3-decade Super Bowl drought, that kind of message matters. It's why Parsons himself has been vocal in his own way, not demanding, but definitely assertive. He's dropped quotes in the media like, "I want to be here forever, and we're building something special." But he's also said, "I know my value," and that's a signal to the front office that he expects to be treated like the cornerstone he is. So where does it go from here? The next step would be a formal proposal sent from the Cowboys to Parsons' agency, which reportedly is already being drafted. The hope is to have a framework in place before training camp starts so they can finalize things in Oxnard without distractions. If all goes well, this could be a record-breaking deal announced within weeks. If not, well, the tension only grows, and it could dominate headlines all season long. But from what we're hearing, this is not like past situations. The Cowboys are not dragging their feet. They're not lowballing. They are actively working toward making Micah Parsons the highest-paid defender in franchise history, and possibly the entire NFL. And remember, this is about more than just numbers on a contract. This is about identity. About legacy. About committing to a player who doesn't just perform, he inspires. He leads. He transforms a good defense into a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. And as both Schefter and Pelissero emphasize, these kinds of deals are incredibly rare in that both sides seem to genuinely want the same thing, a long-term future together. That's encouraging. That's powerful. And that's why Cowboys Nation should stay locked in, because this might be the most important signing of the next 5 years. So as we sit and wait for the next update, just know this: Micah Parsons holds all the cards, and the Cowboys know it. The fans are behind him, the locker room is behind him, and now it's just up to Jerry Jones to show the same loyalty. With Adam Schefter and Tom Pelissero both sounding the alarm, the countdown has officially begun. It's not a question of if, just when. And when it does happen, it could redefine the next decade of Dallas Cowboys football. That's how big this is. Thanks for watching, Cowboys Nation. If you found this update insightful, make sure to smash that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts on how much Parsons should get paid, and subscribe for more breaking Cowboys news and rumors. We'll be back with more updates as they come in, so stay tuned and stay proud because big things are coming to Big D.